Most candidates struggle in PM interviews, not because they don't know the answers, but because they don't structure their thinking clearly. And that's exactly what interviewers are evaluating. Hi everyone, welcome to Product Tech Academy. I'm Imran Khan, a product and program leader with nearly 20 years of experience, including over 10 plus years of experience in product management and data engineering at Amazon. In this video, we'll cover some of the most important PM interview questions, and I will also walk you through a structured way to answer them so you can approach your interviews with clarity and confidence. All right, let's get started. In this video, I will ask you real PM interview questions. We'll give you a few seconds to think and then walk you through a strong, structured answer. Focus on how each answer is built because that's what actually helps you crack the interview. Let's start with product sense, one of the most important parts of any PM interview. Typically, you will get a question like, how would you improve your product? Now, let's take a concrete example. How would you improve WhatsApp? Take a moment and think about your approach. All right, let's break this down. First, I wouldn't jump directly into the solution. I would start by clarifying the goal. Are we trying to improve engagement, reduce churn, or increase monetization? For this example, I will assume the goal is improving engagement. Next, I would define the users. WhatsApp serves personal users, power users who are part of multiple chats and groups and businesses. I'll focus on power users because they experience the most friction and have the highest usage. Now, looking at the experience, the key pain points are message overload, difficulty in finding important conversations, and a lack of organization across chats. So, overall, the core problem here is information overload. To solve this, I would explore a few options, such as AI based chat summaries, smart categorization of chats into work or personal, and a priority inbox for important contacts. Out of this, I would prioritize AI-based chat summaries because they have high impact in reducing overload, are reasonably feasible to implement, and can scale across different user segments. To measure success, I would track metrics like daily active users, session time, and a reduction in unread messages, as this directly indicates improved engagement and usability. So, overall, I would start with AI based summaries for power users to reduce information overload and improve engagement, and then iterate further based on user feedback and data. Notice how we structured the answers step by step. Instead of jumping straight into features, now let's move to metrics, another critical PM skill. Typically, you will get a question like, what metrics would you track for a product? Now, let's take a simple example. What metric would you track for a food delivery app? Take a few seconds. How would you approach this? All right, let's break it down. I would start with a North Star metric, a single metric that represents the core value of the product. For most products, this could be something like active users or successful actions completed. Next, I would break this down into a funnel to understand how users move through the product. So I would look at users entering the product, users engaging with, users converting, and users coming back or being retained. Beyond that, I would also think in terms of acquisition, activation, retention, and conversion. And finally, I would track experience metrics like performance, errors, and overall user satisfaction. One thing to keep in mind is balancing growth with quality. Increasing usage is good, but not it comes at the cost of user experience. Next, let's talk about root cause analysis. This is very common in PM interviews. Typically, you'll get a question like, a key metric dropped, what would you do? Take a few seconds. How would you approach this? Here's how I would think about it. First, I would start by segmenting the problem because we need to understand where the drop is happening. So I would break it down by user type, by platform, and by geography. Next, I would analyze the funnel to identify where exactly the drop occurred. Did traffic drop? Did conversion drop? Or users not being retained? Once I understand that, I would form a set of hypotheses. This could include technical issues, recent product changes, or even factors like competition. And finally, I would prioritize investigating the highest impact areas first so I can quickly identify and solve the root cause. Now let's move to prioritization, another key skill for any PM. You will often hear a question like, you have multiple features but limited resources. How do you decide? Take a moment. What would you do? Let's break it down. I would start by using a structured framework like impact versus effort. For each feature, I would evaluate the impact, the effort required, and how well it aligns with business goals. For example, if feature with high impact with low effort would be an obvious priority, something with high impact but high effort might be planned for later, and low impact items would likely to be deprioritized. So overall, I would choose the option that delivers maximum value quickly while still keeping long-term bets in mind. Finally, let's talk about strategy. This is where interviewers test your big picture thinking. A typical question would be, how would you grow a product? Take a few seconds. How would you approach this? Here's a structured way to think about it. I would start by understanding the current users and how they are interacting with the product. Then I would focus on three key growth areas: acquisition, retention, and referral. Importantly, I would prioritize retention first because if users don't stick, acquisition efforts won't scale effectively. Once retention is strong, I would scale acquisition and build referrals loops to drive organic growth. So, overall, growth is not just about getting more users, it's about keeping them engaged and coming back. If you can answer these questions with structure and clarity, you can handle most PM interviews. Focus less on memorizing answers and more on how you think. So, these are 5 essential product manager interview questions that can help you crack almost any PM interview. In the next video, we'll cover another set of important PM interview questions and go even deeper into how to approach them. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to ProTech Academy for more PM interview practice and frameworks.